let's decide. Who knows? We just have this big old mountainous, enormous thing happening back here in our wintry little sunsetty sky. All we're really worried about is what that top line looks like, not the whole rest of this. This doesn't matter along the bottom, right? Don't worry about the bottom. Worry about the top. Always worrying about the top. We got one over there. We can pop up into our clouds just a little bit. It goes off the side over there. Who knows what's happening with this crazy old guy? Maybe he wanted to get a whole lot bigger. Boom! Pick up some of that paint, deposit it in other parts of our mountain so it's not so crazy. All right, take a little bit down there, a little bit over here. What do you want yours to look like? That's the key question. Boom, pop some of those clouds back, and then we can start to see how we're going to shape these little guys as we're pulling them out. Maybe that guy will go this way, that guy will go that way. Maybe we'll slide this dude back down here. Who knows? Maybe this whole side will be all crazy back in there, right? Be really neat. All depends, again, on how you want it to look. You, madam. How you want it to look with that little bit of paint on my glove. All right, now we're going to come up here with our 1-inch brush. This is a Paint with Bram 1-inch brush. Cool little brushes. They're very neat. Let's come up here. We get to decide by our pressure how far our little mountain section slides down. All right, just based off of pulling it. We get to decide. You don't have to cover every single bit. Leave some of that yellow in there. It looks really neat. And we come down here, and we take a little bit of this guy, and we start sliding it down this way. Perhaps connecting onto our little ridge. Just all depends on how we pull it and slide it out. Right? All depends on us. Then we're going to go back and highlight it anyway. So right up into there. Right? Got one little bit. It's got a little ridge as it's rocketing down this way. You can even add a little bit more of our dark color, just if it starts to hurt your brain. Bang, just like that. Just to help yourself build it together. Maybe now this one looks like it's further away. That one's in the front. This guy over here, maybe come down like this. Who knows? Maybe it's very vertical over here. All right? Just a straight up sheer drop, and then it hit, start to come down this way. All right, all depends. I'm not even gonna say it. How do you want yours to look, guys? Right? Or do you want this guy to be in front? In which case you pull his ridge that way, right? It's like a little Tetris game. Come up here, we're gonna grab the side, we're gonna slide it off, pulling it down, pulling it down. Maybe we need to get a little bit more the paint on our brush. As we come in here, we get this little ridge. Oh, the ridges. Oh, the river. Get that bristle out of there. All right, now, get your butt up out of here. Now, we're going to get this wicked, awesome little mountain. These sheer cliffs. Very cool little thing, right? We just built it with one brush. Didn't have to do anything. Just built it. Built a whole stinking mountain right here in front of your very eyes. That was a good catch. All right, now comes the fun part. We get to decide what we're going to keep, what we're going to let show, all the colors we get to use. Now, when I'm doing a little snowy mountain, I'm going to take a bit of white and a bit of blue, and we're going to mix those guys up over here. Now, the blue is very powerful against the white, right? Very, very powerful. It wants to take over instantly, so you don't need a whole lot of blue versus a whole lot of white. And then you can go back and add more white to it if you want. But once you get enough paint, you're going to come back, grab some of that dark mix that we mixed up, deposit that into our thing, mix it up, scoop it all the way down. All right, and that sort of dulls that bright blue into a little bit less bright of a blue. Now we're going to take about 5 times the amount of white paint, one little snippet of our blue from down there, and let's mix it up over here. All right, just going to mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. And that way, it's going to be a very, very, very bright, bright blue. We know it's not pure white, because I just showed you we mixed a little bit of blue into it. So even though it looks very bright, it's not pure white. It's got a little of that touch of blue inside, right? Now, let's decide, maybe, just maybe, we're going to come in here. Maybe we'll have a whole bunch. Maybe the whole backside of our little mountainous guy was just all shadowy mix back here. Who knows? We get as crazy as we want to get. We don't have to show every single bit. Not every piece has to be highlit in some sort of color. All right, maybe we took a little bit of that blue and we just struck it down our sheer cliffs. Shwa! How you like me now? Just a little bit. All right, maybe off the back of this guy, because our sun is way over there, so we'd have a little bit of that kind of bluish color bouncing off of our white peaks. Little differences in stuff. Just fantastic, right? The more that you scoop up and lay down, the more that's going to be on there. Imagine that. Doesn't have to be crazy, remember. Doesn't have to show every single thing. We're never going to cover every single bit. Came up in there, just a little touch. Another little sheer spire of rock. Now, come over to our quote-unquote white snow. Grip up and just let her rip. Grip and rip it down. Look at all those breaks. Oh, they're fantastic, Josh. Oh, I know, Josh. Just amazing, isn't it? So cool how they just break off the knife like that as they flow down into the icy depths. Into the depths. A little bit of light picking up down here. Who knows where it came from? Who knows? Down like that. Dropping it on. Pulling it off. All depends on which way that we're slicing and pulling on our mountain with our knife, right? Whipping it down one way, you're going to get a cool little look. You pull it down a different direction, you're going to get a different little look. So, be mindful of what you're trying to make it look like. Catching all of our light over here. Came up underneath this guy. Right along the edge of the blue, so you can catch that white and then into our shadowy edge. All right, maybe we caught a little bit back in here as it was whipping itself down, just a little. Can't all match, can't all be exactly the same. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, baby. That's cool looking. Now, maybe a little squidge just right off of that guy right there. Like a little bit of light caught off the side. Maybe we got a little bit catching around our edge, changing our whole angle of our mountain right here, letting it whip its way down. Grip it and whip it. And then again, wherever you want your other little ridges to come across, you have to swipe in those angles. Otherwise, it won't happen, guys. Maybe a little bit of light off the back here will create some misty fog. I get the question all the time, how do you create the mist? I'm about to show you. We're just depositing a little bit of white. Oh, that looks kind of cool. I get picked up over here. Holy cow. Man, that's neat, Josh. Oh, thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Oh, you're so welcome, Josh. Remember, guys, this one is available for sale. Maybe we get a little streak light up there on the tip top. This one's available if you go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com. You can snag this one up before anyone else can. Oh, just like that. So it's a 20 by 24 inch canvas. So 20 inches across, 24 inches tall. Pretty big. Pretty big canvas. I mean, my head is very big. So compared to this canvas, my head seems small, which means the canvas is enormous. Just enormous, right? Look at this. Oh, look at this mountain. Look at this friggin' mountain, you guys. A little touch, little pieces of light as I try to streak over the other side. I never like it to be such a perfect thing. Beautiful. Beautiful. It is literally full of beauty. Bang. Amazing. Okay. Now we're going to take our 2-inch brush. See? It's 2 times in a row. Excellent catches. We're going to take our 2-inch brush. We're going to start very lightly streaking up the opposite way that we went down. So if we took our knife, let's hold them together. All right, if our tool was like this and we had our knife, we took our knife and we went down this way, we're going to go up with our brush that way, right? Opposite. So say we turned our knife this way and came down with our knife. Well, guess what? We're going to go up very gently, Josh. Very gently. You don't want to hurt the paint. You're not trying to move it. You're just trying to soften it. A little touch. Just a little softness. Just by going over it with 3 hairs and some air, like Bob used to say. He was not joking around. It barely takes any pressure at all. Just the littlest bit. Now, let's come in here and on our big old monster 2-inch brush, why don't we grab a little bit of that white paint just so we can make sure we got a nice little chunky bit of mistiness back in here. You see how we're tapping with the white onto the brush and it's creating that fog? that little bit, and as we work it back and forth, up and down, in between all the little guys, start getting this little mist, right? We're still building mountain as we go down, but we can't really tell what that mountain looks like because of all the mystery, the mysteriousness. And look at mine, it comes up, it comes down, it's gonna go around. It's not just a straight off line. That's not gonna be no good. You just have that straight line of fogginess. Bam, 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 bam. See how we're going in a circle too? So I'm taking my brush, we're going out, out, down, 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 rotating this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Each time tapping it with just the end of the brush, whether we're over here, or over here, just using the end, right? Not the whole bottom. Look at it. Get the whole bottom I can touch. We're not face planting the whole 2 inches against the canvas at an angle like that. You're just using a couple little bristles, right? And we can take this guy down here and just mix him up, blend him in with the rest of the kind of undercoloring down there. And just like that, you get this floating mountain out in the middle of nowhere. Don't get lost with the Donner Party out here. It will end with delicious baby back ribs from your baby back. Oh, man. All right, now, we got to come in and split apart all this light. All right, got all this light, all this other light. We need to put a dark separator in there, a little blast of contrast. All right, blast from the contrast past as we come over here. Now, in order to do so, we're going to need, again, that dark mix. So who knows the 3-color